Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Choices Life Coaching and Jennifer's Perspective. And today's topic, hope that everyone has been enjoying their weekend and having a good day. Well, a good weekend anyway. Thank you so much for all of the nice thank yous, and I'm praying for each and every one of you. And thank you all for just your words of encouragement. I posted some photos yesterday. Well, over the past couple of days, and it was of the women that Sesco is sponsoring for Sesco Designs, and they're starting their own, teaching them how to start their own businesses, their own companies. They have a scholarship fund for them to go to university and get an education. Also, I saw a really nice photo of a woman that was born with a deformity. Turns out she's now an awesome kick butt model, and then the other photo that I posted was she is a teacher and an instructor, and she will be teaching children, I guess, from the ages of elementary school. And today's topic is understanding your influence and what is in the memory box of your heart. You understand? And I would just like to applaud these women, each and every single one of them, for the simple fact is that they did not let what the negative things that people say about them or is saying about them stop them or hinder them from pursuing their dreams. Good morning, Christopher. How you doing, honey? Love you. And my topic today is understanding your influence, what is in your memory box, and the way that you live your life actually matters. Now, when I say what is in the memory box of your heart, how do you see yourself? Some days you may wake up and not feel like you're that important. You understand? Some days you wake up, you don't feel important. Some days you wake up, you may not even feel like waking up. You be like, can I stay in bed another day? Some days you wake up and like you say to yourself, oh my God, what am I going to do today? When I wake up, I say, I had to start thinking positive thinking and saying positive things. And I had to start to say, who am I going to help today? Who can I encourage today? Who can I lift up today? Who can I show kindness today? Good morning, Thaddeus. Now, we all have days when it seems like as though life is trying to knock us down and to get us off, to get us off course, and we lose sight of the great treasure, when I say treasure, the great treasures that is inside each and every single one of us. But what matters most is not how you may feel or how you appear to others. What matters most is what you believe about yourself and your own value and significance. You understand? You have to speak good things and say good things about yourself, whether people don't say. Sometimes people say the meanest things. People can be cruel. Why is that? Well, that's the way society is. But people can also be very kind. And if nobody is kind to you, you have to be your own cheerleader, and you have to know your own value and significance. We must remind ourselves every single day that we are not here by accident. You understand? We're created in the image of God, and our lives are full of purpose, Purpose, purpose and meaning, okay? Not only does our purpose involve our own accomplishment and destiny, but it also involves bringing good and adding value, VALUE, to people around you. Okay? Now, listen to what it is that you're saying to yourself and about yourself. Okay? I had to learn to start to speak positive words about myself and to myself, because I spend the majority of my time now in COVID-19 pandemic quarantine. So I have to speak kind words to my own self. Good morning, Charles. So what thoughts are you playing in your mind, okay? Is it extremely important to be aware of your internal dialogue and make sure that it is working for your benefit? Wrong thoughts, wrong mindsets distorts your sense of value and worth, and it causes you to fall short of the full potential that God has put inside of each and every single person. One of the best strategies of a great coach is to get his team thinking in the right direction. He builds up his players and helps them believe in themselves. When his team goes onto the field, that could be a football field, baseball field, basketball court. You can't call it a field. A soccer field. You have women in sports, men in sports that you have to play as a team. So as a good coach, okay, when his team goes onto the field, it's not only about ability, it's about their attitude, their mindset, and their internal dialogue. Okay, they go out feeling like winners. You understand? And as if they have what it takes to do a great job. In the same way, you should go out into the field of life. Life, that is our field. Feeling like a winner, having a champion attitude, because what you believe about yourself is actually essential. It is important that you think good thoughts about yourself and about who you are, okay? Get into the habit of speaking positive, faith-filled words over your own life, because a healthy self-image is one of the greatest assets that you have. As a life coach, one of the areas that I focus on is shame resistance. And people like why is that? Because shame resistance, you have to, negative thoughts and people's negative words can tear a person down. And in my area of specialty, I specialize in the area of shame resistance, courage, and confidence. Why? Because sometimes people don't want to see you succeed. You understand? People would rather how many people are genuinely happy for other people, like from their heart? You understand? You have to learn to, hi Sid, good morning. You have to learn to be genuinely happy for other people and genuinely happy for yourself, okay? Get into the habit of speaking positive, faithful words over your own life, because a healthy self-image is one of the greatest assets that you have, okay? It will not only cause you to rise higher, but it will inspire others around you to live at their very best. Now, the way you live your life matters. Think about when you toss a stone into a pond and it sends ripples across the waters. In a similar manner, your life has a tendency to ripple, has a ripple effect, and has influence on those around you. You may not think that you have much impact, but whether you realize it or not, the way that you live is absolutely essential, and it is setting an example. Your attitude, your self-confidence, how you carry yourself, how you interact with other people on a day-to-day basis, influencing people around you is the most subtle way, and we do it on a daily basis. We set the tone on how to influence, and influence is simply the power to produce an effect without an apparent exertion. In other words, just by living your life, you are producing an effect. If you fail to understand your own full value and live your life without focus, or PURPOSE, the example that we set allows the people around us to rationalize living in the same way. Okay, that is why it is essential to hold on to this truth. You are important. You understand? Sid, you're important. Charles, you're important. Christopher, you're important. Renee, you're important. Veronica, you're important. You understand? Susan, you're important. You understand? You have to start to think that, believe that, think that, and feel that. The way you live your life matters. Pen these words onto your heart and hold them into your memory box. When you recognize your importance and the respect that you have for yourself, living each day with the champion's mentality, you are honoring God and reflecting onto other people the value, VALUE, that he has placed with inside of each and every single person. And you are the spice of life. Hello, 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 hello. You are the spice of life, okay? Created to bring zest and flavor to the world around you. And you just have to just be yourself, okay? Being yourself in your own family. And I intend to be the one who's always laughing, like I'm like really silly. My family thinks I'm silly. That's because I am. You understand? I have my moments when I can get a little... That's why I love comedy clubs and I love funny movies and I just really do love to laugh because it's good medicine. You understand? So... one time I was making a joke about something that happened, and admittedly it was a little corny. The joke wasn't that funny, and I remember when I said it, they looked at me and, you know, around my family and within my family, and they looked at me, rolled their eyes and shook their head with a big smile, and I could tell that some of them wanted to laugh. And then we all knew that the joke was a bust. And then one of my brothers spoke up, immediately piped up and said, you know, if it weren't for Jennifer, life around here would be pretty boring. BORING. Why? Because, you know, they're like, what are you doing now, Auntie Nana? What are you doing now? What are you into now? I remember I went through my wig phase and I couldn't wear wigs because the thickness and the density of my hair. So I gave my wigs to my nieces and they ended up wearing it for Halloween. But you also have to understand that I had to take that as a huge compliment because no one wants to live in a BORING house, okay? Just by creating a lighthearted atmosphere, we can enjoy each other more and more and can become more productive when we work together. Okay, a good sense of humor and a positive outlook can add so much value to the world around you. You have your own unique personality and characteristics or qualities that people need. People need you. Whatever it is that you have, somebody needs that. Okay, somebody needs that, and you can inspire others to greatness. Besides adding flavor and zest, and I'm struggling with this light thing here because now the sun is coming up. Whew. You can bring value and zest, VALUE. You can bring value and zest to the world around you. It's like seasoning. You understand? If you like gumbo or jerk chicken or curry chicken, If you like barbecue, you understand you are the spice of life. Besides adding flavor and zest to the world around you, you can make people thirsty for a higher level of living and motivate them to do what? FULFILL, fulfill their purpose just by living at your personal best, okay? Your example deposits enough strength into others and empowers them to rise to new levels. Now, when I say rise to new levels, I heard a story about a newly elected mayor in a town in Ohio at the inaugural parade as he and his wife rode down the main street in the motorcade, waving at the people and waving at the crowd that had gathered around. Along that route, they passed a man who was calling out to the mayor's wife. As the mayor asked, well, who is that man? His wife goes, oh, that's my old boyfriend. His wife responded coyly, and the mayor nodded his head and said, just think, if you would have married him, you wouldn't be the mayor's wife today. The wife answers him and says, no, if I had married him, he would be the mayor today. You understand? If she had married him, he would be the mayor today. What was that? Now, this woman recognized her own ability to influence. She also recognized her own value. Do you recognize your influence? Do you recognize your own values? We all have different roles that we carry out in life, and we're parents, we're brothers, we're sisters, we're friends, we're employees, we're employers. Whatever role you are in today, you can help to set up the course of victory for yourself and for those that are around you. Now, you have to get to that point where life does matters. Believe it or not, life matters. And not only do you make a difference in your personal relationships, but you have tremendous influence on your job, whatever career you are in today. Oh, wow. Do you notice that? Do I have to talk like this now the entire time? Now, if you are serving at a restaurant or serving on the board of corrections or if you're serving in a corporation, you make the difference right where you are just by living with a heart of excellence. Now, there was a story about a lady named Isabel. She was an exceptional receptionist that worked in this office, in a particular office. She was bright, she was personal, and among the most upbeat people that you'll ever meet. Everyone around her in her office loved her. Why? If a coworker had a personal problem, she knows that they could talk to Isabel, and Isabel would find the silver lining in any of the situations. If others had good news, Isabel is the first one with whom they'll share it. She is known to be an encourager, and in times of trouble, as let's say, she would be the one that would be celebrating things with them and give them words of encouragement. Well, one day Isabel's mom, they learned that Isabel's mom was sick, and that she was diagnosed with a serious illness, so she took like a week off from work, took a leave of absence from work, and during that week, various people in the office took turns covering the phone and answering the phone, and it was an inconvenience for everyone, as they had to put aside their own duties for several hours at a time to take the phone calls, to be the receptionist. Now, I say that to say this, that unfortunately Isabel's mom it took turn for the worse, and Isabel was forced to take more time off from work. And as she did, she used her vacation time, she used her sick time, and before long, she ran out of paydays and had to arrange to take unpaid leave, okay? After about a month, the company's owner felt the burden on the others in the office had become too great, and like her employees, she also valued having Isabel around, but he decided that the drain on the company's energies was too much to bear and made a difficult decision. He instructed the Human Resources Department to find a replacement. Soon, word got around the office that the company was looking to replace Isabel. Instead of seeing the company's owner's decision as a relief, something unexpected happened. The co-workers all stood together and gathered together and went to the owner, and they told him that they didn't want her to be replaced and that they were willing to continue covering for her one by one. They told him that they would stay late to finish their own duties and to make any other adjustments that would be needed. Now, it took Isabel's mother a few weeks to recover well enough so that Isabel had to return to work. During that time, her co-workers faithfully kept to their word and not only covered for her, but they did everything else necessary to keep the company on track. In other words, it was over those last few weeks that the owner of the company actually realized how important Isabel was to the morale of the people that was in the office. Okay, now you have influence on your job with just being who you are. Be your best self and just be you. So in the many years since he had founded the company, he had never perceived that somebody could be irreplaceable. Any dozens of receptionists who had worked there. In fact, he was so impressed by the dedication of his employees to Isabel that he pitched in, and to everyone's surprise, he started answering the phones as well. Now, the owner understood the value of a positive person can bring to the work environment. Being positive, he realized the positive influence that she had on the people around her. You understand? When Isabel finally returned, the owner asked her into his office and informed her that he was going to pay her for the time that she had been away. Even remarked to the one of the managers that Isabel was just like a company benefit. Okay, today Isabel is one of the highest paid receptionists in that particular company. Like Isabel, you can make a difference in the quality of life for those that are around you. People need your love, they need your support, and they need encouragement. Good morning, Andre. Take your position seriously and use your influence well. There's a story in the Old Testament, and everybody knows that story. That story is what? The lady's name is Esther. Okay? She became an orphan as a young girl and had her life held in little hope and insignificance. She had no position. She had no power. She was merely one of the young women at that time, in biblical time, where that she was sent to the king, and at that time, King Xerxes was looking for a new queen, so Esther's cousin encouraged her to go to the palace and with the other young women who were being presented to the king. Because Esther had favor with God, she found favor at the palace, and after a period of preparation, Esther was chosen to be the new queen. Now, in her position, Esther had tremendous influence. She had favor with the king, but it wasn't her social position, and it wasn't her that made her influential. It was her heart position. Heart, heart position. The truth was instilled in her many years earlier when Esther's cousin Mordecai deposited words of faith and hope into the memory box of Esther's heart. When she was just a little girl, he would tell her, "You've got what it takes. You've got what it takes." Good morning, Pearl. Good morning, Georgia. You were born to do great things. You can make a difference with your life. Whatever life it is that God has given to you, you can make a difference. It was the voice of victory and those words of encouragement that helped Esther recognize her value and understand her own potential. When she became queen, those words continued to help and strengthen her and give her the courage to rise up and confront the challenges that she was faced with. She understood that her life, whatever her life was, she wasn't wealthy, she wasn't rich, she didn't have but she understood her own value. When she became queen, she understood that her life was not just about her, you understand, but it was about using what God had given her to impact other people. Esther had those seeds of influence ingrained in her long before she had the title. The title. You ever got a promotion on your job and they're like, okay, here's the title, title, but they don't give you the but before she had her title, okay, I'm sure that she doubted herself many times, but she hung on to those words in her memory box, and what she believed about herself built her faith in her to fulfill her purpose. Esther went on to save the entire nation of Israel from being destroyed. When I look at the George Floyd incident, if that young lady did not take that picture with that video with her cell phone and streamed that, people think that they don't matter. People matter, and the way that you live your life matters. If it wasn't for that young lady with that streamed that and put that thing on the internet, and it went blasted it out into the universe and into the world, nobody wouldn't have known what happened to that man, because that police has been killing people like that for many, many years and nobody knew anything. Anyway, let me stick to the story. What if Esther hadn't recognized the influence that her life could have? She might have shrunk back and settled for an ordinary existence and missed the opportunity to have an impact that changed the course of history for so many people. Is your memory box full with positive words of hope and encouragement, or is it full with doubts, insecurities, low self-esteem? Perhaps no one ever took the time to encourage you, or some unfair things have happened to you in life. Maybe someone walked out of your life, but that does not change the value significance. You have people that have been in relationships, good relationships, bad relationships, whether relationship worked or didn't work. You understand? It doesn't depreciate the value of you, the person. Okay, so you're still important. You're still important. You are so very important. And maybe someone doesn't think that you're necessary, but you are vital. VITAL. Don't let the negative things that other people say about you or do about you or do to you stop you from living your best life and doing the best that you can. Good morning, Marvin. You can't hold on to your past mistakes and allow them to keep you from what it is that you were intended to be. It's time to get a new outlook on life. It's time to clear out those negative memories and start fresh. Start fresh. If you rise up today and see yourself the way that God sees you. God sees you as special. God sees you as precious. God sees you as his masterpiece. Why? Because he selected you and he created you. You understand? He created you for one particular purpose, and that is to fulfill your destiny, whatever your destiny is, and nothing can disqualify you from your purpose. And this is the reason. As Mordecai was for Esther, let me be the voice of victory in your life today. Okay, take these words and put them into your memory box. You are a person of destiny. You are a person that God has given gifts, talents, and abilities. You have an assignment to fulfill your gifts, talents, and encouragement of love. You have rich treasures inside of you that people need. People need whatever it is that you have to offer. Somebody needs it. Okay? You have more in you than you realize, and you can accomplish more than you ever thought possible. No matter what happens in life, hold on to the truth. Even if you don't always feel strong, even during the times when life tries to push you down or to convince you otherwise, don't allow these treasures within you to get buried under your circumstances. You can rise up above disappointments, negative words, and unfair situations as long as you don't lose sight of the VALUE. That is you. You are the value. You are what somebody needs, okay? Now, hold on to your sense of destiny. And I'm reminding you today that you are special. You are priceless. You are loved. You are treasured. You understand? And you are worth it. Don't let nobody or anything or anybody tell you anything different. Okay? You are God's chosen possession. Okay? And I say possession in a way that God really, you ever have something that you treasure? And the way that you treasure whatever it is, imagine how much God treasures you. You understand? He made you exactly the way that you're supposed to be. And this is, if that's how he intended you to be, you understand? He has equipped you with everything that you need. He has given you every gift, talent, and ability. You have the strength to stand strong in the midst of difficult situations, and the wisdom that it takes to make good decisions and better choices. Okay, it's the light. And don't dare, you understand? Don't be afraid to be bold. Be bold and believe in yourself that you are the person of destiny, because you can leave your mark on this generation. I need to give a big shout out to Ice Cube at this moment. Brother Ice Cube, we love you. Thank you so much for taking up the mantle that has been passed on to you as you are rising up. Jamie Foxx, love you, my brothers. And for the women that are running in the political arena right now for vice presidency, Kamala Harris, I can't remember all their names, but I need to say thank you to all of these people that they are, our leaders are now stepping up and have taken the mantle that has been passed to them in this generation, in this time, right here and right now. And I would like to applaud each and every single one of you, because each and every single one of us have a part to play. You understand? Whatever it is that we can do, whatever it is that you can do, just do your part. You understand? And dare to be bold, dare to believe in yourself, and dare to be a person of destiny. Like, we need our comedians, because right now, sometimes we can get really sad and depressed. And last night I was sitting there and I was watching Kevin Hart, and I love Cat Williams. And we were sitting there and I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, okay, I kind of needed to be laughing at that moment. So thank you all. You may feel like your life looks ordinary today, but you too are writing the pages of history, okay? Hold on to these words and allow them to drive you to your destiny. So many people lose sight of their own destiny because they feel trapped in their own circumstances. And too often, just because we can't understand something, or we can't figure out how to accomplish this particular thing, goal, dream, vision, we adopt an attitude of it's impossible. However, today I want to challenge you to look beyond your own limits and consider God, okay? And I was looking at Kevin Hart in his early years with Kevin and Cat Williams, and I'm sitting there and I watched a video of their early days and I watched them today, and I sit down and I look, and I like to say, Kevin, he has honed his own particular skill and technique. It's the same joke, but he has fine-tuned it, and the delivery now, that when he's telling his jokes, that I'm like, oh wow, I've heard that joke, and then when I look back at it, I'm saying, wow, he's really polished his own skills, gift, and talent. So I'm just saying to each and every single person that never take your own life and small beginnings for granted. I remember when I was praying at the prayer ministry in my church, and I had to pray for this one particular young lady, and she had made bad choices in her relationships, with her daughter, and there was strife in the family and not talking to each other. Now, it looked like their relationship would never be restored, and that she would not be able to see her grandchildren and to be a part of their lives. But she was kind of distraught, and I didn't really know what to pray for or how to pray for her. Like, the situation had seemed kind of impossible. As I was praying, I heard myself say something like, I don't think I've ever said anything like this before. I said, it looks like your hands are tied, but there's nothing else that she can do but God, okay? Then something rose up inside of me, and the Spirit rose up inside of me, and I realized that God's hands isn't tied. You understand? Me and you may be limited, and our hands, you understand, may be tied within a certain situation, but with God, all things are possible. All things, nothing is impossible with God. And we have to remember that when you're facing a situation, you may be in a situation right now where you feel like, say, your hands may be tied. It could be in your marriage. It could be in your career. It could be with your health situation. It could be something with the children. You understand? As the negative voice is constantly playing over and over and over and over again in your mind, reminding you of how it's not going to either work out or how impossible things may seem. Maybe that's true, but your hands are tied today in the natural world, but in the spiritual world, God's hands isn't tied. You understand? God always has a way. He can do whatever it is necessary to bring you through any situation. So remember that even when it looks impossible, even when you don't see a way out, or even when you've made like poor choices and bad decisions, that God's hands are never tied. You understand? You know, like when they tie people up. You understand? His power is unlimited. Nothing is too difficult for him. And not only are his hands free to help you today, they're stretched out towards you. You understand? His hands are always stretching out towards you. So with God, you can overcome any obstacle. You understand? He can open up the right doors, doors, and cause the right people to have favor on you. Okay? God has and can soften the hard hearts of many people, and he can give you favor with who? With the authorities, with your bosses on your job. He can give you favor with your spouse. You understand? And he can cause people to change their mind. God can do anything. Good morning, Fern. Okay, so you may not see a way, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a way. Our job is to try to figure out. We can't figure out all the pieces to the puzzle. You understand? We don't, our job isn't to know everything. That's why it's called faith, Faith, and our job is to trust and believe God. God knows that who we are, what he has called you to do, and he has chosen you and equipped you for his own particular purpose. So as you stay in faith, know that God will choose you even when people overlook you. It's happened to me. And I think it's happened to many people. So like Esther, when you don't feel like you can do it, have faith, trust in God, and God will give you favor with the right people. And his hands are not tied, and no matter what's going on around you or whatever challenges that you may be facing at this particular moment, don't get discouraged, okay? Know that you are not alone and that God is with you and God is on your side, and you have everything within you. You have what it takes to accomplish whatever it is that God has called you to do. And on that note, we'll pick it up tomorrow and we'll talk about, I don't know. Listen, we'll either discuss the King David or another topic. Sometimes I have like my own lesson plan, and then I'll see something, and then I'll like study for one thing, and then God says, okay, we're going to discuss this. And I'm saying to myself, like, really? So be ye prepared at all times with information, and love each and every single one of you, and know that you are precious, you are valuable, you have every gift, talent, and ability that God has given you to make it in life. Good morning, Calvin. You understand? So be encouraged and know that you are precious, you are valuable, you are worth it, okay? And know that God loves you and you're not an accident, okay? And be good today. When I say be good, be the best that you can be today. Be encouraged, okay? And I love you. We love each and every single one of you. Love you, Jennifer. Love you, Calvin. Love you, Marvin. Love you, Pearl. Love you, Andre. Love you, Georgia. Love you, Susan. Love you, Sid. Love you, Charles. Love you, Chris. Love you, Thaddeus. And know that, yes, Jennifer, I love you too. So have a wonderful day, and don't let the negative things discourage you. Don't let the negative things that people say about you stop you from doing whatever it is that God has put in your heart to do. And always remember that you are loved. You are loved, and that you are valuable and you're worth it. Okay? Now have a wonderful day, and love my city, love my state, love my family, love my friends, love this planet, love my mentors, and love humanity. I'm in this like mood where I'm in love with humanity at the moment. Because I want humanity to have a chance not to implode on itself, but to bring out the best in each and every single human being, okay? And don't forget to vote in the upcoming election, okay? The election is coming up. Vote, 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 okay? We have opportunities, we have rights, and we have to start utilizing these things. You understand? We have power within our own community, but most of us choose not to use our power as united as one. United nations, not divided country. So let's start being united as a people, and let's look for the best interests for each and every single person. Okay? Have a wonderful day, everyone. Love each and every single one of you. Love you too, Jennifer. And